Hello and welcome to this video tutorial on how to set up the name linking between the FXL file and the tally file. In the How Tally and Joint Mapping Makes Surveying the As-Built Pipeline Fast and Easy video, we showed how to measure a point and how the joint details become assigned to the point, but we didn't explain how this works. In this video, we'll show how the system is configured to set up the relationship between the tally file and your feature code library. The tally holds all the joint-specific details and must include a unique identifier for the joint, which may be stenciled on the pipe by the manufacturer or may be added by the surveyor during the tally process. The joint map simply records the unique weld ID and the joint ahead and joint behind ID. When features in the joint are surveyed, it could be a valve or more frequently a weld, features about the weld are recorded, and one of those features will be the weld ID, which through the joint map relates to the joint IDs. The features of the weld to be recorded are controlled by the attributes defined for the weld code used. So we have fields of the weld feature that link to the joint mapping file that in turn link to the tally file. We can't hard code any of these field names as every client has their own requirements or system. So what we need to do is have the system configured so that Pipelines understands these relationships. These relationships are configured under Pipelines options. From the main pipeline screen, tap Jobs, Pipeline Options. Look at the tally file group box. This is where we set up everything. The first thing to do is select the tally file. The two following fields are used to identify the columns in the tally file that contain the unique joint ID and the length. The length field is used to assist the process of PUP creation, which we discussed in How to Create a Pipeline Tally video. The unique joint ID identifies the column in the tally file that contains the unique joint IDs. Tap the unique joint ID field. The list displayed will come from the heading of the tally file. Pipelines needs to know which column to read the joint ID from, and if adding a unique ID when creating a tally, which column in the tally to write the ID to. The feature library name displayed in the bottom left is the one configured from Job Properties. If one is not defined yet, go to Job Properties and set it there. Tap Linked Attributes. A form with 3 columns is displayed. The first is the link column. The link column controls whether the attribute is a linked attribute. Tap in this field to set up the linking. The second is the attributes column. All attributes in the currently selected FXL file are listed here. The third is the code column. This tells you which codes the attributes in the previous column relate to. When you tap in a field in the link column, it will switch through the following settings: None, Joint, Joint Ahead, Joint Behind, Weld, and then back to None. Joint Ahead and Joint Behind and Joint should be configured for the attribute names that will record the joint ID. Weld should be configured for the attribute names that record the weld or X-ray ID. Tap OK. Pipeline Options now displays a summary of the linked attributes. Attribute fields linked to the weld or joint ID are automatically searched and validated. Fields configured for welds are orange. Fields configured for joint IDs are coloured green. Entry of any alphanumeric text into an orange coloured attribute field searches the joint map file for the weld ID. Entry of any alphanumeric text into a green coloured attribute field searches the tally file, the unique ID column, to find the joint ID. Let's switch to the check tally and show how the unique joint ID field works. You don't have to enter a complete ID. Partial IDs are fine, partial unique IDs are even better. Moving off the ID field automatically initiates a search and validation of the ID. Let's do a quick demo. Key in 42. If Pipeline finds only one match, it completes the field. Key in 29. If Pipeline finds between 1 and 500 matches, it pops up a list for you to pick from. If Pipeline finds more than 500 matches, it asks for you to redefine your entry. If you enter an unknown number, like 55, Pipeline will warn you no matching joints are found in the tally file. This concludes our demonstration of how you configure an attribute of an FXL file to record a joint or weld ID, and how these fields are used in Pipelines. It's not hard to set this up once you know how, and once it's set up you shouldn't need to change it again. Please see the link displayed for more information about Trimble Access Pipelines. Thank you.